Welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving straight into the psychic combat with the Marvel Legends Gamerverse Psylocke and Thanos 2-pack, a Target exclusive that had collectors smashing the pre-order button faster than Thanos snapped half of the universe. The big question is, was it worth the hype? Let's take a closer look, and I mean a really close look, especially at Psylocke because, let's be honest, she kind of steals the show. The new Marvel Legends Gamerverse Psylocke comes with two must-have head sculpts. One with a calm, cool expression and another that's full on fight mode. Big props to Hasbro for finally catching up with Jada Toys, who's been giving us those essential dual expression on their Street Fighter action figures. The two head sculpts does not match how she looks like in the game. Her look is a mix of comic book, Capcom game, and the MCU. In some angles, she kinda channels that Olivia Munn Psylocke from the X-Men Apocalypse. Both head sculpts are intense. Her brows are slightly furrowed. It's a sharp, commanding presence. The eyes are done in a clean, inkjet tech Hasbro loves giving us. This is a comic book accurate, purplish blue shade. The hair is something else. It is brilliantly designed. On the surface, it is black hair with purple painted strands. It continues to the back. You can see clearly that there is some purple and black, but if you look underneath, it's all purple. I'm not sure whether Hasbro forgot to paint black strands on it, but it works. Like a good makeup artist, Hasbro know which spots of her face should have that blush. So there are inkjet printed red, pinkish dots on her cheeks, highlighting the sculpt of her nose and her lips. Her lips is rich red, balanced, not too bold. Unlike the art of Jim Lee and Andy Kubert, her skin is snowy white. The second head sculpt is her battle face. This time she's angry with her teeth gritting. Her hair is swept to the left. Consistent with the first head sculpt, the hair has some black strands over a purple plastic. Looking on the other side, it's all purple. Due to the sculpt, it casts a shadow, somewhat making it look like there are black strands. This has got to be my favorite head sculpt between the two. Compared to the first one, I like the shape of her jaw for this one because the other one looks a bit cheeky. In the comments below, let me know which head sculpt will you use as your default head sculpt for Psylocke. Hasbro was accurate to the game by adding curves to this sculpt. Her upper torso is blue plastic with the flesh color painted on. That is why you can see some spots wherein there are blue showing and some bubbles on the paint on that armpit. That's unfortunate. On the back, you can see how muscular Psylocke is. It's really nicely done. Unlike the torso, the arms have sculpted costume details. The straps are sculpted on, and Hasbro used the straps to hide some swivel. The belt is sculpted on. There is no sash. The X is not cleanly painted for this one that I got, wherein you can see some black smudges inside the X. Unlike the upper torso where there is no sculpted lines for her costume, her lower torso has sculpted details there. As you can see, there is some lines on the flesh embossing her costume. The straps on her legs are sculpted on, and there is a hidden upper thigh swivel in those straps. I'm just glad that upper thigh swivel is not exposed, that it will look unnatural. It's hidden right here, so you will barely notice it. She has double jointed pinless knees. There's a lot of muscle on this thigh, especially her lower calf. Psylocke's legs are game accurate because they are muscular, just like Cammy and Chun-Li. Initially, I thought Hasbro reused the Warbird parts, but you can see the difference in terms of the thickness of her thigh compared to Warbird. Psylocke's backside is emphasized, just like how she is in the game, which is similar to Chun-Li and Cammy. Instead of a repaint, Hasbro gave her game-accurate legs. I hope the closer look answered some of your questions. If it does, I hope you give this review a like. For accessories, she comes with 5 hands. This is the only pair of hands that she comes with, and it's the hand that you use for her neutral pose. It's her hand gesture in the game when she is standing still. Hasbro gave us 2, left and right, so she's ready no matter which way she is facing. Like weapon holding hands, these hands can hinge up and down. She comes with a single left open palm expressive hand. These hands can hinge forward and back. Notice that it is resisting because this is another defective item wherein the hinge is still covered with plastic. She comes with 1 left closed fist hand and 1 right weapon holding hand. I thought it was a pair of closed fist hands for her psychic knife, but this one is a weapon holding hand and she does not come with a weapon. But that's alright, you can use other existing Psylocke swords. The closed fist hands can hinge forward and back, and the weapon holding hands can hinge up and down. Those are the hands you use to connect this new psychic effect knife. It's a overpowered psychic knife. Although a single piece, it is made out of 2 parts glued together. There is a clip there where you can clip her hand. In order to connect it, it should be just like how the psychic knife comes out of her fist. It does not come out of her wrist. The old Marvel Legends effects were clipped onto her wrist, which is somewhat inaccurate to the comic books because the psychic knife comes out of her fist. I do worry over time that either the hands get damaged because of the tightness of the clip, or the clip eventually loosens and you cannot attach it anymore. Just like the psychic knife, Hasbro gave her an updated psychic butterfly effect. The effect is not supposed to be flat on her face. It should be elevated a bit, just like the comic books. So you can see there, it doesn't actually touch the surface of her face, just like the old butterfly effect. To be honest, for this head, it was really challenging to get it right. Several times it fell off, unlike the other head, which is easier to attach. It is similar to the X Factor Jean Grey, wherein there is a small hole hidden underneath her hair where you can plug in this long part of the psychic butterfly. It's just a bit challenging at first because you would be worried of breaking it, but eventually you'll get it in the right position. So here she is. It's a bit closer to her nose. It really needs a little bit more of adjusting. You can use the other one to clip to the side of her hair there. You can see it's actually elevated. It's not touching her face. I managed to position it more properly. This time it looks aligned. The butterfly effect is not coming out of her nose. If this was helpful, hope you give this review a like. Hasbro was really generous with Psylocke, giving her a new updated psychic knife. This time it looks better and it feels like it's coming out of her fist instead of her wrist. It's not anymore the solid color, it's a translucent pink. which I really like. It feels more real instead of cartoony. In some way, it feels like Mafex-like in terms of the quality of the translucent plastic. In summary, Hasbro gave Psylocke 5 hands, 2 heads, and 4 psychic weapons. I hope you stick around for the second part where I will perform several kitbash, plus we'll take a look at one of her largest accessory.
I'm Tuggernaut!
That large accessory is the new Thunderbird of the Storm 2-pack. It is the Mad Titan Thanos, such an A-list villain accessory. I do not have a Thanos in my collection, so I'm gladly adding him. If you already have one, probably sell this one to kids. They'll probably like it, because he looks really menacing and cartoon-like. For his helmet, he has large antlers, which is game accurate, all red eyes with some inkjet printed black surrounding it, nicely sculpted, menacing smile. He has this sharper looking shoulder pads. There are some sculpted details around his armpit. I'm not sure if that's in the old Thanos as well. This one is sculpted on this costume detail. It's a plain purplish blue plastic. Not much painted details. These are orange plastic. Not the dark orange, more of a brighter orange. It's really cartoon-like. There seems to be some infinity stones already on this fist, but it's not painted on. It's similar probably with the Colossus hands. Overall, it's a good looking figure. It's just hard to articulate because his muscles are chunky. Bottom of his feet is a peg hole and a trademark. Unlike Psylocke, Thanos comes with less accessories, 3 hands. This is the pair of closed fist hands which can hinge forward and back, but it's just really hard because he's chunky. The final hand that he comes with is a left Infinity Stone snapping hands. It's not articulated, it's just like that. Can't move the fingers. These hands can hinge forward and back. Before the kit bash, let's just take time and appreciate the improvement of Hasbro when it comes to Psylocke. That is the old X-Force Psylocke on the right and the recent Team Uniform Psylocke in the middle, and here we have the new Psylocke. You can see the improvement in terms of the psychic knife. This one really looks better. Also, the head sculpts improved really well. Please don't get angry at me, but I really don't like the old Psylocke head sculpt. She doesn't look like Psylocke at all. The Uncanny X-Men 275 Team Uniform Psylocke looks a lot better. She looks like Psylocke. The skin color looks like Psylocke. I'm surprised why Hasbro did not just reuse this head and give her a different hair. Just to prove my point, let's do a head swap between the two. Hope you can see now clearly that this is the appropriate head for Psylocke. She looks like Psylocke. This new head, she resembles Psylocke, but not the comic book type one or the game one. This one does. Doing another head swap using the hair swept to one side on the Team Uniform body. Using the new head on the Uncanny X-Force Psylocke body. Notice how the head looks big for this very thin body. There is no neck, so I don't recommend this at all. You can use the new psychic effects on past Psylocke bodies as long as they have closed fist hands or open palm hands. The old psychic butterfly effect can clip on the head with the teeth gritting, the one with the hair swept to one side, but not for the other stoic head. With the return of Marvel swimsuit, just around the corner, you can use the Boss Fight Studio Epic Hacks Red Sonja as a body for the new Headswap Psylocke because the skin tone does match in a way. It's light enough that it actually works on this body. Was this useful? If it was, I hope you give this review a like, subscribe to my channel, and share this with your friends. For places where the figures in this review might still be available, I left some links in the description below. The new Marvel Legends Gamerverse Psylocke stands 15.3 cm or 6 inches tall. According to the info trading card, the comic book height of Psylocke is 5 feet 11 inches, making this figure just right. The new Gamerverse Thanos stands 18.5 cm or 7.2 inches tall. Although the info trading card says he's 6 feet 7 inches per comic book height, in the Capcom game he is much larger. Here are all the Psylocke action figures in my collection, starting with the 1/12 scale Medicom toy Mafex Psylocke, 6-inch scale Hasbro Marvel Legends Uncanny X-Force Psylocke, Lady Mandarin, Team Uniform Psylocke, and the 7-inch scale Marvel Select Psylocke. Here they are with the teeth gritting heads, Mafex, Lady Mandarin, and Marvel Select. Marvel Legends Gamerverse Psylocke and Thanos, besides different heights of Marvel Legends, the quite tall Warpath, the short Wolverine, the regular teenage size X-23, and the regular female size Domino. Here is Psylocke with another iteration of the X-Force team with Spiral, Puck, Storm, and the Mezco 112 Bishop. With their bright colors, Psylocke and Thanos fits just right with other X-Men 97 figures, Magneto, Cyclops, Jean Grey, Wolverine, Nightcrawler, and Rogue. Here is Thanos and Psylocke with different sizes of Spider-Man for a slightly shorter Spider-Man from the Secret Wars, Maximum Series Spider-Man, Renew Your Vow Spider-Man, Ultimate Miles Morales. Thanos is the new Thunderbird. Here is a similar 2-pack of Storm and Thunderbird, where Thunderbird is treated just like an accessory. Since they are Capcom game inspired, here they are with Jada Toy Street Fighters, Dalsim, Blanka, Sagat, and M. Bison, Cammy White, Guile, Ken Masters, Chun-Li, and Ryu. Mabuhay ang Likhang Pinoy by Loose Collector, Burning Hammer, Wee Lee. Review up in my channel, hope you check it out. And Philippines version of Wonder Woman, Darna by Halimo Sculptures and Loose Collector. Executive replicas and Loose Collector, Red Sonja, and the Epic Hacks Boss Fight Studio Red Sonja. I did a comparison review between these two, hope you check it out in my channel. Marvel Legends 6-inch scale versus Marvel Select 7-inch scale, celebrating 80 years of Marvel Hulk, and the 7-inch scale Marvel Select Rampaging Hulk or Immortal Hulk. For packaging, Psylocke and Thanos comes in the brand new Gamerverse Team Box, Psylocke vs Thanos on top Gamerverse. On the side is arcade art of Psylocke and a product shot. At the bottom, some warning legalities and the barcode. On the other side is another arcade version of Thanos and a product shot. At the back is a product shot. There is a short read up on top. Pause it right now if you want to have a read. Unboxing the brand new Hasbro Marvel Legends Gamerverse Psylocke vs Thanos. The figures come in one plastic tray. The background is game inspired with those green lines and blue lines. Here is the figure and all of the accessories. For articulation, Psylocke's head can move from side to side with some hindrance because of her hair. She can look down. She has a butterfly joint right here. You can see a gap between the joints and her chest. She can do a clapping pose. She has an upper torso swivel, crunch forward, crunch backward, no waist swivel. There is a bicep swivel right here, hidden along the straps, double jointed pinless elbows, wrist swivel, hinge forward and back for this hand. She can do a split. She has a hidden upper thigh swivel along the straps. Double jointed pinless knees, can kick that back, kick forward. Her feet can hinge forward and back and has an ankle rocker. Thanos articulation, his head can move from side to side easily without any hindrance, cannot look up that much, can look down little. Hands can extend that far. With a chunky body, it's hard to articulate. The arm can do a full 360 despite of the hindrance. He has a bicep swivel. And yeah, it's really hard to articulate because he's a chunky action figure. He has single jointed elbow, which is barely usable because of his large biceps. He can swivel around here. Hand can hinge forward and back. He has a ab crunch, can crunch forward that much, crunch backward that far. He has a waist swivel somewhere here. He can do a split, hindered again. He has a upper thigh swivel, double jointed pinless knees, cannot kick that much back. Really hard to articulate. He doesn't have a lower cap swivel. Feet can hinge forward and back, and he has an ankle rocker. My final thoughts on the Marvel Legends Gamerverse Psylocke vs Thanos 2-pack, a Target exclusive. As expected and as advertised, it's all about Psylocke. She has updated articulation, game accurate design, new accessories, and a gorgeous head sculpt. Thanos, well, he's a chunky boy. Might not be that game accurate because he's really large in the game. But I think with this price point, you can't add more plastic. In America, this 2-pack is sold out at Target. Should you panic? Well, no. I'm sure you're after Psylocke, and I'm sure Hasbro will eventually reuse and repaint this Psylocke. Her costume is game accurate and is actually accurate to the art of Jim Lee during the 90s. She does not have a sash in the 90s. So probably Hasbro will just reissue this. I reviewed several X-Men action figures and I made a playlist right here on the top right corner of your screen. Hope you check it out. Thank you for watching. I hope you found this review useful. If you do, please like, share, subscribe, comment, and ring the notification bell. I hope to see you on the next one.